Yeah, welcome to another episode of Picture This. By now, you should already know who I am. Either way, if you don't know, I'm Seun Akisanmi, and today I'll be discussing a topic that I feel every photographer should answer sooner or later, and that is client satisfaction or personal satisfaction. Which one do you value most? I've been recently having discussions with quite a number of photographers, and I find a few of them complaining about the relationship they have with some of their clients. They're saying, my client didn't pay me, my client is asking too much editing, they are frowning during the pictures, and I'm thinking, who do you want to please the most, yourself or your clients? Yes, I know this might be a dicey issue, but hear me out. I'll be sharing a few of my experiences, especially some that I had recently, and hope to try to buttress my points. The first one that comes to mind is a client that we covered his wedding, November 2011. The first time we will meet the client was just 2 weeks before the wedding, because he had to fly in from Canada where he is based. And when he came in, we quickly did the pre-wedding shoot. It was after the pre-wedding shoot we gave him the pictures of basically what we took, and he complained bitterly that the editing was not to his satisfaction. He mentioned the fact that his sideburns was not well edited, that we could have helped remove all the darkness, that we didn't change some backgrounds, that this was not up to his satisfaction. I explained to him that the type of editing that we do is minimalistic in nature, very, very minimal, and we try to make the picture as natural as possible. He insisted that, look, he paid quite an amount because he thought he was getting the best. And truth be told, he paid about $2,200. I wouldn't blame him for thinking he paid, the whole amount in the world. But I was faced with the question, am I about to fully satisfy this determined and picky client, or do I want to insist and have my way? One question I asked myself also was, by the way, who is paying my bills? Who is paying for my wife's expensive soap? Who is paying for my daughter's school fees? Who is paying ultimately for the dream house that I want to get? And guess what the answer is? It's the client, or in some cases, perhaps you, the viewer. That's if you register for the photography training course we have anyway. Either way, I was left, with the answer that this client, after dropping $2,200, is basically my master for now. So I had to satisfy him. And I've met photographers that said stuff like, look, you need to insist on, what you want as a photographer, because the clients don't know what they want, blah, blah, blah. But I decided, I just had to please him. And you will think it will end there. After the wedding, we took many pictures, we designed the albums, sent a copy to him, the soft copy, to preview and approve before we print. Lo and behold, he disapproved of half of the album. About half of the album was not well designed to his taste. He reiterated that my sideburns, once again, are not as edited. You should make me not, too young, but just a little younger, the editing, the face. And also, there are some people that I don't like in the picture. And he sent us a 3-page Word document for the type of pages which you edit and the pictures which you adjust. I was overwhelmed because this was going to be our second most, would I say, picky or most choosy clients. One thing I've learned over the years is to make sure that I please the clients that might seem to be difficult. I mean, in most cases, they are difficult seemingly because they are not coming from my own point of view. They don't understand my own principles. And before either way I take a client, or before you take any client, you ought to have discussed every possible scenario and hopefully put it down in writing. That is where you tell them, look, I only take black and white pictures like you saw on our website. I only do this type of editing, and if you want an advanced, maybe removal of background, it will cost you more. Okay, you need to put everything down in writing and discuss. That is why in most cases I try not to conclude many deals, especially wedding clients, on the phone. They call you, can you cover my wedding, and then 5 minutes later you've concluded the deal. Okay, even if you find yourself putting everything in writing, you still meet some clients that will be like, look, yeah, so we agreed, so what? But this is what I want now. I changed my mind. Yes, depending on your own beliefs, it's up to you to decide who do you want to satisfy, your clients or yourself. Another recent experience that I had was with a shoemaker that I gave a contract to do a customized shoe for me, and when he brought it back that he was done, the shoe was quite tight. I explained to him that this shoe is tight, and he explained that, look, it's okay to be tight, the first couple of 1 or 2 months. Don't worry, as time goes on, it will loosen up. And I was telling him that, wait, who is going to be wearing these shoes? Is it you or me? And I was like, no, that each time I, do a shoe, there's a way I want it to look and feel that I'll be satisfied with. And I was like, look, you are not the one paying for this shoe. Worst case scenario, yes, you should be happy, if I'm happy. But first of all, I need to be comfortable with this. He tried to convince me otherwise that, it's okay just as it is, but I wasn't very comfortable with it. And there are a lot of us photographers like that. Many times when I was starting out, I used to tell a client that this picture is great, this is the one you should frame, or this is the one you should put in your album, and I go on. And as time went on, I realized that in a lot of scenarios, they actually don't 100% feel what I consider to be the best picture. I consider to be a picture with them smiling and laughing, that wow, this is great, you could frame this one. And then the client is like, I don't like the way my teeth show too much, I prefer using this other one that I'm not smiling too much. And in some cases I could tell the client, I like this one in black and white, and they're like, no, I don't like it in black, I like colored. And so my job is just to take as many different pictures and give them options. Either way, at the end of the day, they are the one that choose what they want. And this goes out to a lot of us photographers, especially the photographers out there that feel they have years of experience. Your answer to that question, who you want to satisfy the most, might very well determine how longer you want to remain in business. Truth be told, I'm sure we've all heard of recent companies like Olympus and Kodak that are in serious financial turmoil. These are some of the issues that were not adequately addressed. For Kodak, they were like, look, we don't need to go into digital cameras because this is what we feel is right. Who do you want to satisfy the most? Your client or yourself? A question that every photographer should address. The last experience that I had happened to be with a commissioner based in Abuja. We had a family portrait session about 2008, and when it came time to pay for the bill, the amount she was going to pay was about roughly $1,000. Apparently she had just had a meeting with her personal assistant, and she was very upset for one reason or the other. Not for me, not with me anyway, but she was very upset. And when I gave her the agreement, she was like, how can you be giving an agreement to someone like me that is a lawyer? I studied law in Harvard University, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I'm so sorry, ma'am. I'm actually trying to protect your interest. She went on and on for 2 minutes. And at the end of the day, she took the money that she was about to pay me, $1,000, and threw it at me and told me to get out of her presence. And in most cases, I know some photographers, forget photographers, I know some of us, human beings, photographers or not, we will even be angry at such a person that how can you throw money at me, don't you know who I am, blah, blah, blah. But these are scenarios where a photographer's maturity should come into place. What occurred to me was, regardless of how she gave me the money, the point is she paid my bill. And I made sure I counted the money in her presence and thanked her before I left her presence. At the end of the day, I think she was satisfied. I think she better be satisfied. Either way, sooner or later, you need to ask yourself that question. Who do you want to please the most? Your client or yourself? And the answer to that question will very well determine how longer you remain in this photography business. Till we meet again, same station, stay tuned, keep taking those pictures, and whatever questions you have, photography wise, that is. Interestingly enough, some people ask me family, relationship questions. It's okay too, but I enjoy more of the photography questions. Okay? Just send an email to picturethis@eloPhotos.com, and we'll do our best to incorporate it. If you like what you're saying, if you like what we do, if you don't like what we do, send us an email too. If you like it, subscribe to the channel, share the episode with your friend, and keep taking those pictures. Ciao. Cut.